Z are not only provided with strokes, basic stroke form S, Z, but also provided with a small circle, So once a new device is provided, another form is provided, an additional form is provided to a stroke consonant. It means alternative forms are provided. There are alternative forms. A small circle represents yes, initially, medially and finally in a word. You know the rules in the previous lesson. So, initial consonant sound yes, medial and final, represented by a small circle represents yes in a word, initially, medially or finally. For example, specifies. Circle is used initially, medially and finally. And medially and finally, the small circle represents is also Z. So medially and finally, the small circle represents Z also. Stroke forms are there to represent the consonant yes and Z. In addition to that, an abbreviative form. The objective of learning shorthand is to write the words quickly. So, new devices, new methods, abbreviative forms are provided to the consonants so that in the words we can use the simpler form whenever convenient. So, when to use this small circle, you have studied in the previous class. But initial Z is represented by the stroke only. Initial Z is represented by stroke only. Zero. Z. The beginning consonant Z is represented by the stroke only. Now that alternative forms are provided to the consonants S and Z, we know when to use the small circle. But when we should use the stroke form, see, when we have a motorbike and a car, for short distances we don't use the car. Suppose there is a bicycle also, then three means of transport available. We ask the children not to use the car to drop their friends. We put a rule in the family. Similarly, here when there are alternative forms, we have to set some rules. We know how to use the small circle. Then, when the stroke form should be used, what are the situations in which we will have to use the stroke form only, not the circle? That we will study. Then, yes, stands alone with a vowel stroke must be used. For example, us. Because when in the word yes is there is no other consonant, then there is a vowel. In such cases, you cannot use the circle. You cannot put a circle because circle does not have vowel places to put. Okay. Just like first place, second place, third place. It is an abbreviative form. It is a circle. There are no vowel places, just as a basic stroke is having. So, a circle does not have vowel places. Therefore, you will have to use the stroke only. Say, so, saw, S-A-W. Like this, you will have to use the stroke form only when S stands alone with a vowel. Initially, Z is represented by the stroke only. So in a word, if there is only the consonant Z, it should be written with the stroke only. For example, zoo, easy, next, if a vowel precedes initial S, stroke must be written. If a vowel precedes initial S, stroke should be written. Suppose this is a word. What is word? Word is a composition of vowels and consonants. If a vowel precedes initial S, what is the composition of the word? Consonant, vowel, vowel, you see consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel, like this. A word is a composition of consonants and vowels. Now, the initial consonant must be yes. Initial yes. So in the word, the first consonant must be yes. Then, if a vowel precedes, suppose vowel has come. Now, the first consonant must be yes. So it is called initial yes. Initial consonant sound yes. Before that, if a vowel comes, before that there must be a vowel. In such case, consonant sound yes should be written with stroke only, not circle. When if a vowel precedes initial yes, that means in the word the first consonant must be yes. Before that, if there is a vowel, then this yes should be represented by the stroke only and not the circle. If vowel is not there, you can write the circle. So, the stroke yes must be written if initial sound of yes in the word is preceded by a vowel. Let us see the examples. Ask. Here, in this, this is the vowel, this is the consonant yes, and this is consonant k. In this word, this is the first consonant, initial consonant. Before that, there is a vowel. Then, this consonant yes must be written with the stroke only and not the circle. Ask. Suppose like first sounded vowel is the first place vowel. Suppose there is no preceding vowel. For example, seek. Here, initial consonant, yes. Before that there is no vowel. Therefore, you can write simply small circle. E. Seek. You can write safely circle. Why? Because there is no preceding vowel. Here there is no preceding vowel. Here Before that, initial S. In the word, the first consonant must be S. Before that, there is a vowel. If there is no vowel, you can use the circle. If there is a vowel, stroke must be written. Stroke must be written. If there is a preceding vowel to the initial S, initial sound of S. In that word, the first consonant must be S. In the word, the first consonant must be S. Before that, if there is a vowel, initial consonant, yes. Before that, there is a vowel. Okay. So, if your vowel precedes initial yes, stroke must be written. Stroke must be written. Let us take another example. Escape. Here, escape. Escape. That means here this is the phonetic structure. Escape. See, yes, a. So here the initial sound of consonant is yes. Before that there is a vowel. Therefore, this should be written with stroke. For example, scope. Scope. Before yes, there is no vowel. Therefore, it can be written scope. Because K is there, S is there, K, O, vowel, K, P, S, stroke. Consonant, yes. Now, this initial yes is represented by the circle because there is no preceding vowel. Next root. If a vowel follows final S or Z, stroke must be written. That means there is a verb. There must be final S or Z. The word must end with is or is. Is or is. The consonant S or Z. Then, if your vowel follows, this is called final S or Z. After that, if your vowel comes, that means if a vowel follows final S or Z, stroke must be written. If there is no vowel, stroke need not be written. If there is a vowel, stroke must be written, either S or Z. If there is no vowel, circle can be used. Because a small circle represents S or Z finally. Let us see the example. Race. Simply race. Because after this there is no vowel. So you can safely write circle. But racy. L, re, s, e. Because there is a vowel, you will have to write the stroke. Re-si. In order to put the vowel sign, you will have to write the stroke. If you write re-si with re and circlets, we have to put the e vowel. For an abbreviative form of circulars, there are no vowel places. 1, 2, 3. So for a circle, there won't be vowel places. Just like a stroke consonant. Therefore, you will have to compulsorily write the stroke. Rose, rose. rose, z sound, rose. Rosy, rosy. Bus. After S, there is no vowel. Therefore, you can write safely such. Busy, this is the sound. We are not bothered about the spelling. Sound. Busy. 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 Stroke. Final S or Z is represented by the stroke if a vowel follows. If a vowel follows. This is S and this is E vowel E. Therefore, you will have to write the stroke. Busy. Accuracy. See? Accuracy. Accuracy. Accu. Unit term goes here. Accuracy. Focus. Accuracy. Accuracy. U become third place. Accuracy. Accuracy. Avoid. First sound vowel is a first place vowel. So, because there is a vowel after the final consonant is, you will have to write. You will have to write the stroke. This final S is represented by the stroke only. S or Z. Otherwise, if there is no final vowel, you can safely represent S or Z with the small circle. Now, another rule. What is a syllable? A letter or letters pronounced in one utterance is called syllables. Is called a syllable. A letter or letters pronounced in one utterance is called a syllable. Now, in many words, us will come. Tortuous, sinuous, joyous, attenuous, ingenuous, like that, us. If the final syllable, us, is preceded by a diphthong, then this us stroke must be used. The final syllable us is written with the stroke form of S. If a diphthong precedes it, it means us. For example, tortuous. Us is there, here, us. Us is, this is the final syllable. In the word, us is the syllable finally uttered. Before that, there is a diphthong, tortuous. Now, in such case, this us should be represented by the stroke only. Us is written with the vowel us. Now we write tortu. Now you will have to add us, isn't it? Therefore, tortuous. Tortuous. U diphthong will come here, and this a vowel will become ja. Therefore, U diphthong plus vowel, it will become triphone, isn't it? So triphone is written. Tortuous. 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 Okay. Again I will write. tortuous. Tor. U diphthong will come here and this vowel. U diphthong plus A. Vowel. Triphone will become. It has become a triphone. Tortuous. Diphthong U plus A. Vowel. It has become triphone. Diphthong sign plus this vowel. It has become triphone. Tortuous. Tortuous. Joyous. There are many words. Try to understand one example, then you can understand the rule. Joy. Joy. Us. Very simple. Joy us. Joy us. Because us. Us should be. Us is the final syllable. Us should be represented by the stroke only. Vowel is there. So, now this vowel, joy. Oi is the diphthong. So, this vowel comes. It will become a triphone. Okay. Joyous. Joyous. We have already written tortuous. Tortuous. Isn't it? Tortuous. Like this. Joy us. The final syllable us. Final syllable us. When it is preceded by oi, a diphthong. A diphthong. When it is preceded by a diphthong, final syllable us in the word, finally us will come. O-U-S, us. Then there will be a diphthong. Then this us is represented by the stroke. Then this is the diphthong plus I is there. It will become a triphone. Now let us see. Chorus. Chorus. It is not us. This is simply F. It is not us. Chorus. 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 Here, this rule is not applicable because there is no us. It is only S, not us. You see? It is not a syllable us. It is only S. Therefore, you can safely write the circle. If a vowel and another S or Z follows initial yes stroke must be written. Now the condition is this. There must be, it must be initial yes. Must be initial yes. Then a vowel must come. And another S or Z. This is the condition. In such a situation, this initial S must be written with the stroke. If a vowel and another S or Z, if a vowel and another S or Z, another S or Z follows initial S. In the word, the first consonant must be S. After that, immediately a vowel and another S or Z must come. In such cases, the first consonant S must be written with the stroke. Society. See, This is the initial S. Then there is a vowel. So, immediately there is again this sound. This. Here it is a triphone. Maybe triphone or vowel. Triphone is a vowel family only. Diphthong belongs to vowel family only. Society. Society. Season. Initial S. E. Vowel has come. Again, S or Z. C, Z. Z has come. Okay. Now, the rule is satisfied here. Initial S followed by a vowel and another S or Z. Therefore, season. This is season. Seas. So, yes, E, and again another S or Z. If the initial S, see this is initial S, isn't it? Initial S, a vowel. S is the vowel E, and again another S or Z here. So initial S is followed by a vowel and another S or Z. Sees, is, sound is. So sees. Now initial S is followed by a vowel and another S or Z. Therefore, this initial S must be written with the stroke form. Here, circle is used. Final S, there is no vowel, therefore circle can be safely written. That rule is different. Okay. Sees. Initial S is when it is immediately followed by a vowel and another S or Z. Then this initial S must be written with the stroke. If a triphone follows initial S, stroke must be written. That means initial S. In the word, the first consonant must be S. Immediately, there must be a triphone. Triphone means? Triphone. A vowel following the diphthong sound. Okay. Triphone. For example, we call it as science. It is not science. 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 Here, suppose this is the initial S. Immediately, there is a triphone. Science. How was right? Science. Now, there is no preceding vowel, maybe, but if a triphone follows immediately, yes, then stroke must be, this S must be written with the stroke form. alternate forms, circle or stroke. Now we are dealing with the stroke form, the use of stroke form. Just SUN. See, is U-A. U-A. SUN. SUN. Stroke as downward. Initially as immediately followed by a triform. U, SU, SU, A. Triform. SUN. So, if a triform follows immediately the initial S, if a triform follows immediately the initial S, this S must be written with the stroke form, basic stroke form, not the circle. The stroke form of S or G written in the root word will be retained in compounds and derivative words. For example, saw bench. This is a compound word. Saw is the cutter with teeth. Bench is different. So these two words are compounded, put together. So it has become a compound word. Saw bench. Now saw is one word, bench is another word. So in the initial word saw, when it is written, stroke S is used. Saw. Stroke S is used. So when it has become a compound word with bench, the stroke form which was written in the root word may be retained. Saw bench. Saw bench. See mu. See is one word, mu is another word. It has become a compound word. When you write this first word, see, you will use the stroke S only. See. So, in the compound word, you retain that see mu. See mu. You retain the stroke form. Assailed. 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 Unassailed. No, this is the root word and this is the derivative. Derivative is taken, derivative is a word which was taken from the root word. Okay. This is a cognate form. So, here. Unassailed. Unassailed. So, in the root word, stroke S is written. So, in the derivative also, you retain the stroke form. Is. You have written is. Okay. This is. This is. This is. So in the root word, you have written stroke Z. You retain the same in the derivative. This is the derivative of the root word is. This is, this is, this is. So like this, the stroke SRG, which was written in the root word, the same may be, that means in the root word which form you have used the stroke form. It may be, the same may be retained in compounds and derivatives.